Hello, I'm Kendra, and this is Hooked by Happenstance Makes Monday, episode number 46, Try. So this is a crochet fibery podcast, as you may be well aware, but we always start the week by discussing our word of the week and how it relates to my life, projects, etc. Our word for today is try, which according to Merriam-Webster is an intransitive verb meaning to make an attempt, as in you can do it if you try. Or as a transitive verb, to make an attempt at, often used with the infinitive, so like try to fix the car. The second definition is to put to test or trial, as in try one's luck, often used without, so try out a new method. Or to subject to something, such as undue strain or excessive hardships or provocation that tests the power of endurance. It can also mean to demonstrate or prove. The third definition is to examine or investigate judicially. Note, this one did not apply to my week. Or to conduct a trial, to participate as counsel in the judicial examination of. I did not do those things. And the fourth, I have never heard this definition before, and I thought this was fascinating. To melt down and procure in a pure state, render. Try out whale oil from blubber. I had never heard that term. I have rendered lard from pig fat before, but I have never thought of as trying. And that is also an obsolete, to purify or render, refine. And the fifth definition is to fit or finish with accuracy. Let's talk a wee bit about how these different definitions apply to my week. First off, the idea of making an attempt at. I am going to be trying a few new things in the coming weeks, but the first one I'm super excited to tell you about, and I promise I won't go on and on about it in the long run, but this is the first time talking about it, so I'm going to go on just a tiny bit. If you don't want to hear about it, skip ahead. I am opening a Patreon account. It is actually already open. If you go to patreon.com/hookedbyhappenstance, you'll see my smiling mug with Peachlet. And we are going to try and do some new things to help us connect with you in new and different ways. So the crochet content that I've already been posting here on this channel, things like the podcast and the Sunday sunrises and the Let Peachlet picks and the Freaker frogs and all of our favorite things that I do, nothing's going to change. They're all going to remain free here on YouTube. That's my plan. I'm also going to continue to daily vlog on Happenstance Place. I am trying to find some new and different ways that I can connect with you and hopefully give back some things that you might enjoy in ways that can benefit us both. Because obviously making all these videos takes a good deal of my time, which I am more than happy to offer. And it has become work for me. Not work in the sense of like, oh, this is such drudgery, but work as in this is the thing I go to do every day that I enjoy. It is my creative job. So to make that truly a job, there needs to be some compensation in some way. Previously, I had been making money on AdSense for my YouTube videos on my vlog channel. Not a lot, but I was making a couple $100s a year, which was enough to help me, like when my computer crashed last year, I was able to buy a laptop, you know, supplementing the money we already had set aside. It was able to happen faster because of that. I've been able to buy memory cards when I needed them. When my camera broke, I bought a new one. Things like that. So this channel, Hooked by Happenstance, has actually never been monetized. I applied for monetization when I first opened the channel. Unfortunately, I started this channel right after they had changed some rules about subscriber numbers and watch time and what have you. Well, just as I was reaching that benchmark they had set and I was actually in the queue for approval, they stopped approving people for monetization. And they went and made more strict rules at higher points that I have not met. So I do not have 1,000 subscribers, which is the first base minimum. Now, as far as subscriber numbers and the percentage wise, I'm actually not that far off for watch time. I just don't have as many subscribers. But the subscribers I have, I'm really happy with because it is a very strong group of people who are very dedicated and involved and consistent and all of those things. And I don't want to do things to promote and get numbers that aren't going to turn into actual, like, humans. Like, I like that the number of subscribers I have are, like, real people to me because you're a small enough group and the interaction I see, you are all real people. You're not just, like, one of a mass. So, I I am hoping to recoup some of that funding that I had been making previously with monetization on my videos, you know, as a whole, by opening a Patreon account. Now, there are some perks for you, and I think there's some perks you're really gonna like. So, just to give you a quick rundown, the first thing is a $2 level, which will get your name on the Schwall of Fame. The Schwall of Fame will be appearing sometime next week. It is a super special fancy thing that will have your name on it in my office all the time. It will appear in many, many videos. And every month you continue to subscribe at the Schwall of Fame level and or higher, you will get a little foil star next to your name on the Schwall of Fame, so you can glitter up your name and it can be pretty all the months. If you decide to join my Patreon at the $5 level, in addition to getting your name on the Schwall of Fame, Peachlet and I will make and mail you a postcard every month. The next level is $10 a month, and it's called Happenstance Happy Hour. So in addition to getting your name on the Schwall of Fame and a monthly postcard from your pen pal Peachlet and I, you will also have access to a Google Hangout. The timing will be determined based on who has subscribed at that level. We'll work out time zones and stuff. But all of the patrons at the $10 level will get to join in to a live Google Hangout with me and Peachlet, and we can just like talk and drink tea or wine or whatever and just hang out for a little bit. At the $15 level, you will be a wordsmith, which means in addition to getting your name on the Schwall of Fame, Peachlet being your pen pal and sending you postcards, you will also get to pick a word, and Peachlet and I will craft you a video, meaning that I will come up with a crafty connection to the word you choose, obviously within reason, come on, and I will find a way to spin it either motivationally, crafting wise, or something. There'll be a thing. I don't know. I'm creative. I can do this. And I will take your idea and produce a video special for a Wordsmith Wednesday. There are only 4 of the Wordsmith spots because there are only 4 weeks a month, so that is the maximum that I'm capable of doing. And that is all of the things that I'm currently offering on Patreon. There may be other things in the future depending on interest and such, but that's what's there. So like I said, the Patreon is up and running. Patreon.com/HookedByHappenstance. If you would like to be more interactive with me and Peachlet in the ways I discussed, that is the place. Now, by no means feel that I am like saying you have to do this. It's a thing that's there if you want it, and if you don't, I am not bothered. So just enjoy those potential perks. Okay, so moving along to other ways that my week was trying. The first project that we're going to talk about is one of the things, and actually the only thing that I finished this week. So this is the one thing that's off my hook. This is a project that I did for Let Peachlet Pick My Fair projects. And this is a placemat that I designed for my sister's mother-in-law. There's going to be a set of 4. But only one of them is complete at this point. And this pattern will be released in August, because my filming schedule is full till then. So August, there will be a pattern out and stuff for this. So keep your eyes out. That will be happening. This was not trying. In fact, making this one placemat was delightful. I had gone into it with the intent that I was going to actually make something kind of apple themed, and I was going to start with the base of the blue and then add like an apple-y motif or something. But then the yarn told me to do that pattern, and I really liked it, and I'm enjoying the texture and things, and we'll talk about it further when the pattern comes out. The reason trying comes into play is we had a bit of a trying experience, and thank goodness I had this project bag with me. So we were down about an hour away from home, all 3 kids with us, me and my husband, in our minivan, and on our way out of town at about 9 o'clock at night, the battery on our car died, and it was not the battery, oh no, the alternator went out. Like, we couldn't even turn on the flashers. The car had 0 power. That was fun. So we had to get our car towed to a mechanic. Obviously, everything was closed by then. Thankfully, we got a hotel room. There was a big music festival in town, and our car broke down on Thursday night when the rooms were starting to fill up. The first hotel we called had no rooms. And the place that we ended up staying had 1 room the night we were there and no rooms the following night. So we really lucked out, but it was very stressful and trying and difficult. But I had a project, and I it was very strange when I was gathering my things to leave. I almost kind of didn't grab something because I was going to do something else in my purse. I'm like, no, I'm going to grab a project bag anyways, just in case. And thank goodness, because I needed something to work on in the hotel room so that I could, like, chill out. Plus, everybody else in my family goes to bed much earlier than I do. And part of the reason I go to bed as late as I do is because that is the best plan for me. I just get better rest and stuff. So, it was not practical for me to try and go to bed at like 10:30. So instead, I crocheted for a little bit, and then I honestly just watched things on my phone because I couldn't turn a light on in the room. Because when you have 5 people sleeping in one hotel room, it's very difficult on the lighting front. But here is the progress. What is on my hook right now is this, the second placemat. And I recognize I didn't get as much done as it sounds like I did, but the amount I got done was incredibly like restful and nice and calming for me. So here is placemat number 2. And I will continue to work on that. Not to mention, this bag was just making me stinking happy because it's real cute. There are no bags of this print available. This is personal fabric. I bought it when I was in high school actually to make a quilt for myself. I bought a whole batch of fabric to make a quilt for Steve and a quilt for me. And Steve's quilt happened, though I can't find it in our house. We have been looking for it. It is somewhere because it clearly didn't walk off. But Steve has a quilt and I never made mine. It just never happened. So I have this beautiful blue leafy fabric and I crafted it into a project bag, which I really like and made me super happy on my very trying night in the hotel with my family. And now the next project is also kind of try related. I was sent a care package by Kat of Cattails Yarn. You can find her on Etsy. She sent me a package, months ago. Must have been in like January. Yeah, it was before all the things. So, she sent it to me, and I actually started to make a shawl out of this particular yarn, which is a DK weight. And the color is what? Burgit. I believe it's like Wheel of Time, Game of Thrones. I don't know. It's a reference to a fandom I don't understand. Sorry. But it is beautiful and yellow and bright. And I had started a shawl, and I even wrote it all out, what I was doing, but I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I wanted to try something new with the yarn. So, interestingly, I was talking to Kat, and I frogged it. And I rolled everything back up, thought about it overnight, and decided I wanted to make myself a top. So I am in progress on this top, which has yet to be named. I, once again, am writing down the pattern, so at least I will know how to make another one that fits me in the future. So this is made out of Cattails yarn. Like I said, the Burgit colorway in the DK weight. This is 25% nylon, 75% superwash merino. And I have two balls of it. So this is how far I am through the first one. We will see if I get the whole top out of this yarn or if I have to do something different. I do have an idea of using a different yarn for the back. It would not be Cattails yarn, it would be a different yarn that I just have in stash. But we'll see how far I get with this. If I can do the whole thing out of this, I probably will, but otherwise, I'll supplement. I'll try something new. So, that is this top, and the other day, I really should have been doing more practical things, but it was just so pleasant. The stitching, and it's smooshy, and we were tearing down the ceiling in the other room, and it was trying my patience. And so I just sat here in my bubble and tried to ignore all the noise and commotion and chaos and stacks of things in my house, and I worked on this. Speaking of trying to ignore all the construction chaos and piling of things that are happening because of that, because I guess if you don't watch my vlogs, you probably don't know. In addition to, we just finished doing my office. We are now moving on to our parlor and tearing out the plaster ceiling, putting drywall up. We'd already drywalled the walls, but now we're doing the ceiling. Once that is completed, we can then refloor our parlor and our kitchen. So it's just been one project after another. So it's getting a little old, but it's going to be so, so good when it's done. Anyways, last night, things were trying my patience, so I got out my Sands of Change, my third attempt at making an Afghan out of this yarn, and it is going so much better this time. So this is the Sands of Change by Franco Randall. This is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. You may remember my Tides of Change was a free pattern, but this one is paid for. I am using a K hook now as opposed to the J that is called for. There is no actual like gauge swatch, like use this hook gets you this many stitches in 4 inches or something. There's none of that. It just suggests you use a J. I had tried using a J and got much further than this and did not like the way everything was laying. It was all weird. Just because the construction of this is kind of interesting. It's generally just a mandala pattern, but the way that the shaping works, obviously you start with this kind of triangle bit, and then it kind of becomes a circular bit, and then a bit squarey, and ultimately the whole thing is a kind of circly shape with some like little things kind of poking off it. So you will obviously see it when it's all done. But this is 4 colors of Red Heart Super Saver: Cherry Red, Claret, Charcoal, and Burgundy. Burgundy? Yeah. So that is the 4 colors I'm using. They're all balled up here because I frogged the first attempt at the Sands of Change that I had done with the smaller hook, and now I have lots of balls from that. And actually the other night I also frogged my original attempt at making a ombre arrows, maybe? It's a Moogly blog pattern. She has 2 patterns that are, one's like a DK weight and one's a worsted weight, and I can never remember which is which. But I had been trying to make one of those patterns, and then I gave up on that, started the Sands of Change in one hook. Gave up on that, now I'm starting it again in this hook. But I have lots of balls of yarn. I have plenty of yarn. Now I just need to try and get it done before everybody comes to visit at the beginning of August. I think I will be okay at the rate I'm going. I am trying to do 1 round a day on this project, and so far so good. I've yet to do today's round, but I'm going to do it while this is all saving and exporting. Hopefully your week has not been too trying, and perhaps you got to try some new yarn or a new stitch, or try getting some things done, weaving in some ends, giving yourself a break and not being upset about what you did or did not complete. All good things to try, and hopefully you will go over and at least look at the Patreon page, see what the perks are, see if that's a thing that interests you. If it's not, again, no worries. Things will remain as they are here. The only thing that might happen is if I get enough support on Patreon, I can justify being way more consistent and having way more content on both channels. But until that time, things will remain as they are. Though I have a better filming schedule, and I'm trying to post more regularly and more things in the coming months, as, you know, life has just kind of reordered itself once again. On the screen next to me, you'll see my face. If you click it, you can subscribe, and then all my videos will just pop up in your subscription feed whenever I post them. Also, there's a link to subscribe to my daily vlog channel if that's something that interests you and you want to see how I squeeze all of the things that I squeeze into a day in. That is a good way to find out about those things. And there's also a link to a video that YouTube has decided with their master algorithm you will really like. If you'd like to help me with the algorithm, if you would click a thumbs up down below, it helps it to rise up to the top, and more people will hopefully see this video. And I will see you all next time. Bye!